I want to talk to you guys or share my story of prayers answered in this last couple of weeks through my own self and through some members of our community group who we were out of work most of last year, and we were praying all year long that we would find employment soon, and certainly employment with a company that was a good fit for us. And three of us in this last 2 weeks were all hired and got a job with a company that fits us all three perfectly. And it was amazing how God came in it was His time, not our time, but He does answer our prayers. And in mine in particular, I know He was there because when I was in Denver training, on the very last day I was there, I got a phone call late one afternoon from a friend who I'd just worked with recently, but knew him for about 12 years, and he had moved to Denver, and he didn't know I was in Denver, but he called me late one day just to check on another friend of ours who had had some surgery, and we started talking a little bit, and he asked me how I was doing. I said, I'm doing good. I'm in, outside of Denver somewhere. I don't know really where, but I'm kind of interviewing for a job and checking out this company. And he asked me where it was, and I said, well, it's in, I think, Greenwood Village. And he said, well, I'm in Greenwood Village. And then he asked me the address, and I said, it's 560 South Quebec Street. He says, well, I'm on South Quebec Street. And ends up that I was only 3 blocks away from him, where he lived and where he worked. And so he came by, and we had a couple-hour chat and caught up, and it was amazing. Coincidental, possibly, but also maybe God had a plan for us to catch up and meet. And gosh, when I got back home, I needed to set up a home office because I'll be working from home. And God put me in touch with a office furniture establishment. And the young gentleman who was helping me, we were talking about him and talking about his grandpa who wasn't doing really well. And we kind of, for the first 30 minutes, we didn't even talk about office furniture. We talked about his family and my family, and my dad who's 93 and his grandpa who's mid-80s but not doing well. And at one point, I said, is it okay if I pray for your grandpa? And he said, well, that would be amazing. He said, are you and your wife Christian? And I said, yes, we are. And I asked him if he was and what church he went to. And he said, well, I go to this little church in Petaluma called New Life. And I'm like, all right, well, God really had His fingers all over this. So He put me in touch with this. He hasn't been in church for about a year, but he's been busy, and it's been the pandemic. But put me in touch with this young man who has a business, and I ended up buying a desk and a chair and finished setting up my office. So continue your prayers. God will answer them. It may not be in your time, but certainly in God's time. And when He does, it'll be a good answer for you and a good surprise where He's going to lead you. So blessings to you all. Hope to see you on a Sunday in the parking lot, and soon Sunday inside the church.